Hi, this is Joe, KF7MIX, and this is a supplemental training video for JS8Spotter version 1.13. This is just a short video to go over the changes between 0.12 and 0.13. Try to keep it down to a few things listed in the changelog. There's also a bunch of bug fixes that you'll find in the changelog that aren't mentioned here, so I encourage you to take a look at that. First thing to note with this version is that the database structure was changed, and so you will need to update your database. I did adjust the checks in there so that you wouldn't have to update your database for every update unless the database structure was changed. So in the future you may not need to update your database as much, but you will for this release. Okay, now getting into what is a little bit different in this version of the program. First of all, Jeff KC7HES asked for the ability to sort a few things, and so that has been added. The thing that he wanted to sort was here in the map view you can see these call signs of who you've received. He thought it'd be good to sort, and so now you can just click on the column header and sort alphabetically by grid or by call sign. So that's right there. You can also sort certain things in this view as well, like the search terms by clicking on search, last seen, or comments, which is a new addition that we'll talk about in a minute. I think you can also sort different things, like here in the stat reps you can sort those by call sign. And let me see if I added it here as well, because I can't. Yep, you can sort your form responses as well. So makes it a little bit easier to use for that. So thanks for that, Jeff. Also in the form response, since we're here, had a request from Ron K7RIE to be able to filter duplicates. Sometimes when you receive a form, you might receive it from multiple stations. You don't need multiple copies of the same one. So another option has been added right over here to filter out duplicates. Pretty straightforward how to use that. Now Manuel N0DDK requested to have a comments field. Specifically, he wanted to put in names. Now just a reminder, the search terms can be anything. They don't have to be call signs. So the comment field can be anything. It doesn't have to be names. But many people do use the search terms. They put in call signs there to track their friends or whoever else. Oh, another thing about this sorting is that in this view in particular, if I sort this and new data comes in, it will reset this to the default sorting of last seen. Keep that in mind. But let's look at the comments real quick that Manuel asked for. In this case, I'm going to add a comment to someone who's already there. This is a friend of mine, N6CYB, that's Dan. I'm just going to go ahead and add his name. If you're in Windows, you're going to notice in version 1.13, the save comment button's cut off a little. That'll be fixed in 1.14. But let's put Dan's name in here and save it. And you'll see now that his name is showing up. So again, you can put whatever you want in those comments, whatever is useful to you to have a comment real quickly accessible. Now that change did also, the addition of this column meant changing a few things about how you add, export, and import search terms. So you'll see that the quick add has been taken out and there's just now an add and remove button. I think it makes a little more sense. This add used to just be called import, and now it's just add. So you can add search terms here. I'll just put in a test one. The other thing that's been changed is that you can hit tab here and put in your comment or your note, and that will be imported at the same time. So I'll put a test comment there, add that, and go to the bottom, and you can see the comment has been imported with that. Again, you can put multiple lines in this view, or you can copy paste. So on the export as well, you'll note that comments are included with the tab character. So if you save this or copy it, your friends can import it or your group can import it, and it will include the comments. So that's just kind of a nice addition. Next thing was, okay, that's method was changed. All right, next thing that was changed, this was Paul KI6QDB that asked for this. He was noting that every time he filled out a form, for example, I fill this out, load it. This is new. It's actually saving it now, but in the past what would happen is he would have to punch in his group name every single time. A new setting has been added in file settings for your default expect allow. This is expect system is where that comes into play. So right now I've got that in there. So I'm just going to save it like that, and you'll see that when you go to the expect system, my default of all, that's what it used to be, and you'd have to type in your group name every time. But let's go ahead and go in here, and you can see that now you can type in your group or multiple groups, whatever you want. Save it, and it will populate that automatically. Same is true if you're filling out a form. It's going to populate it automatically. If you load a previously filled out form, whatever was saved with the previous filled out version is going to be loaded in this box. So that's just to save a little hassle of having to retype those things over and over again. Would also just like to quickly note that I received a lot of help and input from the Magnet group, from the 4SQRP group, as well as from Stephen K. and 4AM about MC forms and several other things. Stephen also helped standardize some of the MC forms naming and set up an additional repository at his website, which you can find linked on the JS8Spotter page. And if you go ahead, I'm real appreciative for all that help. That was very, very helpful. They did a lot of testing, so thank you to those groups and individuals for getting that done. Stephen also provided some additional documents, so take a look in your JS8Spotter files at those PDF files. You'll find those very useful, as well as in the forms subdirectory. You're going to find a documentation folder there with more information. So any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is on QRZ.